Have you ever repeated a mistake? We all did. 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, maybe 50 times. And guess what? Every successful person did thousands of mistakes too. The fact is, they learned from them. And you can see it as far as 2000 years ago with Marcus Aurelius writing his meditations, with Jordan Peterson writing his papers as a college student and reviewing every sentence. Could he say it better? Every paragraph. Could it be shorter? Could it be more precise? Years later, he is a world-class speaker and writer. You have Grant Cardone reviewing every sales call that he was doing when he was starting and what could he say better, what could have worked, how could he control the situation to his advantage. Now he's a billionaire. Or Alex Hormozy, who got to, $1 million businesses, bankrupted twice, and after he started email thread to himself with every decision he, mistakes, wins, and he started to reply to himself that trait during the interview that, hey, that's a really good indicator. A year later, he realized to himself, no, that's not a really good indicator. That person started to steal from the company, so it's like a learning curve. But hey, he didn't go bankrupt ever since he started. So what can you take from all those achievers? Record your mistakes. Whether it's like in a notebook, whether it's in, a Word document in your Obsidian Vault, whatever. You can do it however you want. Whether it's an email thread or WhatsApp group with only yourself, with no voice notes, whatever you like. That's ultimately up to you. But the fact is, you need to record your mistakes or you will forget them. You become more aware of those mistakes in order to, when situation arrives, when the story is about to repeat itself, that you realize, okay, wait, I'm in this situation. This is what didn't work last time. So let me try something new. That's exactly what you do. Or this is what worked last time, so I'll just do exactly the same thing. In 5am Club, there's a pretty cool framework about that. Better awareness leads to better choices, and better choices leads to better results. This is exactly what you're doing just by recording. Just by recording your mistakes in a notebook. Step 2. After you finish the step 1, which is recording it, you can go to step 2, which is reflection and boiling down the raw data into actionable steps and, scheduling them. So for example, yesterday I was supposed to do a thumbnail and I didn't do that. I planned the thumbnail as planned, but I didn't really shoot the, photos because it got dark. So the conclusion is simple. I need to move making the thumbnail earlier during the day so that if things move out of place in my schedule, I still have enough sunlight to shoot a picture for a thumbnail with good lighting and without it looking like a pixelated mess. Simple stuff like that. But okay, it's something less specific. Like for example, when I was waking up for my morning routine in the morning, when I was starting it, I wasn't used to it. It wasn't automatic. It was struggle to get out of bed. I just realized that hey, after a few nights, I recorded how my days were going past in my usual journal, and I realized that hey, every time I take my phone to bed with me when I'm going to sleep, the likelihood of me procrastinating in the morning is about 50% higher, because it was easy to wake up and fall back into what I was doing, which was watching YouTube. Being unproductive before the sleep resulted in me being more likely to be unproductive after finishing the sleeping, because that's kind of this approach I went for. But when I swapped my phone for my Kindle and I was reading a book that inspired me, it didn't even need to be self-help book or whatever. It just could be a novel that I found inspiring and relatable, like The Perfect Run, for example. Yeah, it may have been because I didn't have that big dopamine spike right before the bed, depleting my dopamine for tomorrow right before I needed a lot of motivation, essentially. But hey, it worked for me. So, and just because I was recording my days in a simple notebook, it wasn't even something fancy. I was like kind of jotting things down during boring classes during school that, hey, I found something that really works. And yeah, by the way, if you think you don't have much time for journaling or whatever, and you're still going to like school, like college or high school or whatever, just grab a normal looking notebook and make it your journal. Like, you'll find that, hey, nobody gives a crap what you write in there. Like, you look super attentive, like you're writing everything down. In reality, you're not paying attention, and like, if the class is worthless, that's fair, bro. So step one was record your mistakes and wins. Step two was reflect and identify the action steps. So, in my examples, it was, moving, making thumbnail earlier in the schedule for the next time, and for example, with the going to sleep, okay, just keep your phone out of the bed. The third step is to schedule your, action steps. Like, this is like the whole notebook, like, I've made in my planner for like week. So yeah, basically when I see like, okay, I didn't do this, I just add another bullet point with the action step, and I'll usually put an hour mark in my notebook. I'll just kind of like put the idea, like for example here I just keep ideas for like stuff. This is like very rough planning. My hourly planning I'm doing in my pocket notebook. So then I will move the idea to, a particular hour, and I'll give it a timestamp so that I don't forget about it. That's the other part of the insights. Like, keep your action steps and your plans in a accessible place. Like, this thing goes with me everywhere I go, or at least like in some form. Like, I may grab this little $1 notebook when I'm going for some labor and such. And like, and fourth, the most important step by far is to execute, because well, if you don't execute, why the fuck did you do the previous three? It's fucking pointless. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you, bro? It's like, they kind of slap yourself in the face, like, fuck me. Like, if you fucking catch yourself that like you did all three steps and fucking didn't execute, bro, slap yourself in the fucking face, bro. Yeah, you fucking deserved it. And I fucking did that to myself, bro. So, to summarize, step one, journal to gather data about your life. Step two, extract action points from whatever you put on the page. Step 3, plan it in your planner for the week, and then keep your plan on you in whatever form suits you. Step 4, execute. Just do it. Like, I don't know, set up an alarm to remember, to check your schedule on like, what was I supposed to do to this hour. I do that start with like alarms myself. Like, I have like a special alarm labeled like meditation, and ever since I set it up, I maybe skipped it like 10 times this year. So like 80 out of 90 days. That's pretty good. That's like 90% accuracy. Anyhow, if you found this video helpful, you can subscribe, leave a like, and if you want one-on-one help from me, there's a link to my Patreon where I sell my course. So the course is in the shop section. So it's called Project Wisdom. You can check it there. It's learning course.